I am Brother T. I'm so excited to have you all today for a little bit of story time. And today I think I have a really good book for you all right before you're about to get under your covers and tuck under your bed and get ready for the next day, get the rest that you need. I just want to share this book with you, and I hope you're able to join me. All right, so follow along, interact so that you can get the best out of this experience, just as I have loved and enjoyed this book as well, okay? All right, so the name of this book is called Knock Knock. And this book is by Daniel Beaty. It is written by Daniel Beaty and illustrated by Bryan Collier. Illustrating means that's the individual who draws the pictures, and they create the story through the pictures. Daniel Beaty, the writer, he's the one who writes the words that create the story. And so I hope that you're able to join me. So first I want to ask, how are you guys doing? Are y'all doing all right? Have y'all been having a fantastic week? Have you been enjoying the summer? And how has the family been? Good, good, good. Well, I hope that everything is going well and in your favor. So let's go right into it, guys. I start off by looking at the cover of this book, and I see a young man who seems like he's hugging or in the arms of his father, who has the hat. He looks a little older, mature. He has his work shirt on. Looks like there's a door right here, and the door looks like it's open. And it says, my dad's dream for me. And so it says a lot here in this front cover. What do you think it means with the title Knock Knock, and you have the son and the father here? Well, without any further ado, let's go right on in and figure it out, okay? Knock knock, guys. Knock knock, my dad's dream for me, by Daniel Beaty, illustrated by Bryan Collier. And this is by Little Brown and Company, which is out of New York and Boston, who put this together. All right. So it says, every morning I play a game with my father. He goes knock knock on my door, something like, and I pretend to be asleep till he gets right next to the bed. Then I get up and jump into his arms. Good morning, Papa, he says. So they play a game right before and right as you're going to sleep. He goes and acts like he's asleep in bed when his dad comes to the door. And just as he gets close, he jumps up in his dad's arm with fun and with laughter and with joy, because that's a game that they play. That's the way that they connect, him and his father. You see him here in the picture. He's acting like he's asleep. He has his toy truck there. He has his covers pulled over, and he's playing that knock knock game. All right, let's go to the next page and see what happens. It says, and my papa, he tells me, I love you. We share a game, and it's called Knock Knock. All right, so there's that front picture again. He's jumping in his dad's arm. That's his papa. He just told us. And they just played a game. He looks like he just came from work, and he's excited that his dad is back home safely and in his arms. So he tells him that he loves him, okay? And you look at his room, got typical kid stuff inside, your toys, your shoes, your books, and things of that nature. All right. Next page says, and then one day the knock never comes. I wait, but Papa's not there to play our game. Interesting. So his papa doesn't show up one night. And I think it's kind of interesting that the illustrator put this rainbow here. A rainbow to me is like a symbol of hope. Makes you feel like in the midst of the storm, there is still beauty, because usually during a storm or right after a storm, you see a rainbow, and that's a sign of the storm is over and hope is to come, right? So as he's saying these words, or as he's going through this next part where the knock never comes, he still has hope that his papa is going to come and play that game again. You see that door open, and he's waiting for his papa to come through. Let's go to the next page. It says, and morning after morning, he never comes. Right? So if we look at this side right here, it's showing the young man. He's playing with his toy truck. He's waiting even up in bed for his papa. And you see that rainbow is upside down now. So it symbolizes to me that he's losing hope that his papa's going to come, right? So as we go to the next page, it says, he never comes to help me get ready for school. So he's not showing up. It's seeming like some time. That looks like mama right there. It looks like she's trying to play a mama game with him, but it seems to not make him as happy as it was with his papa, right? It looks kind of sad. Let's go to the next page. All right, the next page reads, he never comes to cook my favorite scrambled eggs. He never comes to help me with my homework after school. How about that? He never comes to cook those favorite scrambled eggs or help him with his homework after school. So if we look at the picture, we can see that he is really sad that his papa's not here. He's looking at that hat, which reminds him of his papa coming home from work. They're playing them knock-knock games. But he's not showing up. He's not here, right? He said he never comes. He wants to have those experiences to cook those eggs and stuff like that they used to do before his papa left or didn't show up, whatever happens to him. So I'm going to take a moment to think or ask, what do you think happened to papa? Where is he at this moment? And can you feel the emotions that the young man feels right here because his papa's not there anymore, sharing those memories? Yeah, I can relate as well. Let's go to the next page and see what happens. I listen at the door, but I never hear his knock. And then I think maybe he comes when I'm not home. So I decided to write him a letter and leave it on my desk. Papa, come home, 'cause I miss you. Miss you waking me up in the morning and telling me you love me. So he writes a letter, as you see in the picture. Looks like he's a good writer as he's looking out the window. And it looks like he puts it into a paper plane and he sends it out of the window, hoping that his papa would read it one day. Come back home. What a creative way to do so. The next page says, Papa, come home, because there are things I don't know. And when I get older, I thought you could teach me how to dribble the ball, how to shave. These are things that he would love for his papa to teach him because his papa does those things. He shaves and he dribbles the ball. And these are things that he wants to learn from his papa, right? So as we look at the picture, looks like we're outside. You see the skyline of New York City there. And you see that the young boy has his papa's hat on, as well as that paper plane. Looks like it's blending in with the atmosphere, but he's balancing on those letters that he's writing to his papa, hoping that one day his papa will receive the letter and come back home. Still trying to figure out what happened to papa. So let's go to the next page to figure it out. It says, how to drive, how to fix the car. So he's adding more things to the list of the things that he wants to learn from his papa. And he says how to drive, how to fix a car, how to do these things that young men should be learning to do from their papa, right? That's the picture shows. He's just upset. He has his hands out. He really wants, he's expressing himself saying that, Papa, I need you to come home so that I can learn these things from you. Because even though mama's there, I can't learn these things like I can learn those things from you, right? So a father is really important in our lives. Even though we have our moms and they love us to life, we still need to have the balance of our father figures in our lives, right? Don't you agree? Yeah. Let's go to the next page and see what happens. It reads, Papa, come home, because I want to be just like you, but I'm forgetting who you are. Wow. So as you see this picture, you see what looks like Papa with the hat on. And he's saying, come home, because I want to be just like you. Every little boy's dream is to be just like his present father, right? He wants to be just like him or even better, right? And so he's saying that, come on home because I want to be just like you. I need to learn some things from you. And also, he's forgetting who his father is. So I'm assuming this might be him growing up, becoming the man that he wants to be, but still longing for his father. It's pretty interesting that they bring these elephants in, because one of the things that I know about elephants is they have an excellent memory, as he's talking about losing the memory for his father. I thought that's pretty ironic. The next page reads, 2 whole months pass, and my letter to my papa still sits on my desk, but I leave it and wait for my papa's knock. So he sits back and he waits for his papa's knock, right? So that's him sitting in the door, waiting. The door looks like it's wide open, and he's waiting for his papa to come through, right? Or he's coming in the room, which one of the two. You see, he still has his toys, the elephants, his bed. He's not even in his bed. The letter is still on his bed. And so he's really longing for his papa to come and spend time with him, because he enjoys that time. Let's go to the next page. All right, it reads, and then one day I come home from school, and on my desk I find a letter from my father. So he finally gets a letter. Let's take a look at the picture. It says, to my dear son on that letter. And you see, like, it looks like some type of gift right here that he's unraveled out of some brown paper bag type material. So it looks like he got a gift in a letter. Let's go to the next page and see what happens with Papa. Where has he been at? Let's figure that out. All right, the next page says, dear son, ask your mama to help you make those scrambled eggs we love. Remember to do your homework before you watch TV. And so as he's reading the letter, his papa is telling him to reach out to mama to help with those things that he's asking for, those scrambled eggs, and to be responsible and to do homework before watching TV. Right, so he's still trying to give him guidance, but it seems like from a distance. So I'm curious to figure out what happened to Papa. He then goes on to say, I am sorry I will not be coming home. And then he also says, for every lesson I will not be there to teach you. Hear these words. Right, so if we look at the picture, you see he has a tie. That looks like it was a tie in there. Where he can start practicing how to learn how to tie the tie from his dad, right? He's sitting in the closet just pondering and reminiscing. It might be his father's closet. He just wants to sense his presence again, right? So he's going inside. Let's go to the next page. As you grow older, shave in one direction with strong, deliberate strokes to avoid irritation. So you see him in the mirror. He got the soap around him, learning how to shave. He has a shaver there. Looks like the Barbasol or the shaving or foaming, shaving foam there. And so he's learning how to do it. He has his hat. He's learning how to tie his tie. And he's doing all these things on his own without his father. Dribble the page with the brilliance of your ballpoint pen. So he wants to learn how to dribble the ballpoint pen, or that pen along the paper there. So whether he's writing poetry or he's writing a report for work, he wants to be able to utilize it. And it looks like he's doing well, because on his wall in his office, which this is the younger son, it looks like he has a certificate or a diploma or a degree of some kind. And so that's important. That's important. One thing that I like, though, is that he took matters into his own hands, and he eventually stopped playing the victim and realized that if he wants something out of life, he's going to have to go after it himself to make it happen, to create his own opportunity, right? All right, and the next page reads, no longer will I be there to knock on your door, so you must learn to knock for yourself. And so he's telling them in this letter that he won't be there always, and that you must learn to knock for yourself, which means create new opportunities, which means to make noise for yourself, stand up for yourself, to believe in yourself. And I think he's saying the same thing to you all today, if you're listening. All right, so from the picture, you see a lot of balloons. You see the young man here with, I believe, his mother and some other village young lady. Looks like they're having a good time. It says, knock, knock, down the doors that I could not. All right, and the next page says, knock, knock, to open new doors to your dreams. Knock, knock, for me, for as long as you become your best, the best of me still lives in you. So he says, as long as you become your best, the best of me still lives in you. And so it seems like it's still in quotation marks, and that's still his papa talking and telling him that the best still lives in him, that there's more, there's better. And it's good to have that kind of support, right? Somebody that believes in you and believes in what you're doing or trying to do and decides to help you reach that next level. All right, the next page reads, knock, knock, with the knowledge that you are my son and you have a bright, beautiful future. All right, and then the next page says, for despite my absence, you are still here. So he's trying to ensure him that even though he's absent, that you are still here, that you are still present, that you're still in the household, that you're still around mama and sister and brother, right? You're still around that environment. So knock, knock, who's there? You are. How about that? You see him embracing his father. And the whole title of the book is called Knock, Knock, right? And at the end it says, who's there? And it says, you are. So he really brings, or the author really brings this story round full circle back, because it not only started with this embrace, but it ended with this embrace with a message or a call to action as well. And that message is, knock, knock, who's there? And he says, you are, which means that people will move to the side. Some people will be with you, for a little time, a season. Some people will be there for a lifetime, and that's including family members. And so it's important to know in our minds that we are the ones that show up for ourselves, right? Opportunities will come, but you have to fight and create opportunities for yourself to be successful and to reach that end goal, all right? But this young man became the father that his father wasn't. He became present. He is focused on what he brings to the table. And so I want to challenge you, whatever you got going on in life, wherever your father figure is, or if you don't have a father figure or a mentor, or you feel like you just don't have an outlet, I want you to strive to find that, because it will be beneficial to you to be able to grow in areas where others lack to teach, okay? So I want you to remember this story, this knock, knock story here, and I want you to be free. Take care, guys.